Hey Valley Mel, welcome back to another G67 math video. Tonight we're going to be interpreting histograms, but let's start off with one more Olympic trivia question. I know you know what these stand for, but do you know what they stand for? In other words, do you know what they represent? Yeah, they're the Olympic symbol or the Olympic rings, but what do they really represent? I didn't know. I'll be back and give you the answer after instruction. Tonight officially, I can interpret a histogram on three. 1, 2, 3. Let's do this thing. All right. This histogram below shows the quantity of chocolate pieces per bag of trail mix. All right. How many bags have between 60 and 79 chocolate pieces? Well, let's take a look at it here. I rewrote this here because this was ungrammatical, but let's see, we have the bags on this side, and this would be from 0 to 19 pieces of chocolate, 20 to 39, 40 to 59. It looks like an interval of about 20. So 60 to 79. So if I look at that, it looks like there's 8 bags. 8 bags. We've answered our first question. We've interpreted our first histogram. How many bags of trail mix are represented in this histogram? Well, you could think about this as you could add up 3 plus 7 would be 10. And then this one here is 15. And then there would be 15 plus 8 would be 23. And one more here would be 24 bags, or 24 total bags represented. See how I did that? You're just counting up the bags by looking across and look at the bars or the buckets, as Sal Khan refers to them as. Okay, if a bag had 59 pieces of chocolate in it, which bar would it be added to? Well, that'd be pretty simple, right here, right? 49 to 59. It would go right here because this next one here is at 60. Okay? All right. I've interpreted 3 different questions on a histogram. Let's take a look at our word of the day. Histogram, similar to a bar graph, but it groups data into ranges. Remember that x-axis is continuous. There's no gaps from 10 to 90. The y-axis shows the frequency. It's a great way to show results of continuous data such as weight, height, time, etc. Temperature was another one. How about this one though? Coke, Diet Coke, Sprite. Is this a histogram? No way. These are discrete individual categories. That's a bar graph. All right, taking a look at this one here, the ages of women visiting Liberia, as I like to call it. How many women over 70 visited the library? All right, well, over 70, let's see, it'd be here, these 3 categories. So there's 1, and there's 3, and there's 7. So there's a total of 11 women visited it. Did more people over 70 visit or people under 50? Okay, well, over 70 was right here. It was 11. So if I add up these 3 categories, that'll be under 50, and we find out that they're both equal to 11. It's the same number of both people over 70 and under 50 visited. So all kinds of questions that you can answer and you can figure out by interpreting a histogram. I'm going to try to give you a whole bunch of different looks at them tonight. The next one here. Number of children who visited the zoo. You can see our histogram here. We've got the frequency all the way up from 25 to 100 kids, and then the interval. We have kids from ages 4 to 5, 6 to 7, 8 to 9, and 10 to 11 years old. So how many kids visited the zoo? This is one of those ones where you just have to count them all up. Here's 100, and then here is 75, and here's another 25, so that's 200, and then here's 50. So I have 250. I also can go 100. Here's 125. 50 more makes 175 plus 75 equals 250. So 250 kids. And I just put that down there to show you how I added those up. All right. How many more 10 or 11-year-olds attended than 8 and 9-year-olds? All right. So 10 and 11-year-olds, there were 100. And 8 and 9-year-olds, there was only 25. So if I do my math, 100 minus 25, that's 75 kids. All right, time for you to try kind of a split screen here, pause problem. Here's your first question. How many 4 and 5-year-olds visited? Go ahead and take a quick peek. Did you say 75? Yes, you're right. All right, little George Bush. What percentage of the visitors were 8 years or older? Go ahead and take a second. All right. Well, 8 years and older, there were, oops. Come on, duds. Don't choke. There we go. You had 100 here and 25 here. So you had a total of 125 out of 250, which is equal to 0.5, or 50% of the kids were 8 or older. All right, not bad. Time for you to try one on your own. Kind of a big one here. Math test results. First question, how many kids took the test? Second question, how many kids had a score of 70% or less? Go ahead, take a second. How many kids took the test? If you add all these guys up, you get, survey says, 31 kids. That's an average class size. I was pretty sure it was going to be 32, but I added it twice. It's 31. Did I make a mistake? No, I think it's 31. How many kids had a score of 70% or less? Well, 70% or less would be all of these guys here. So it would be 4 plus 5 is 9. Here's 10, and 2 more is 12. So my answer is here someplace. There it is, 12 kids. 12 kids had a score of 70% or less. That's not too great, considering below 70 is typically, a D. All right, time for the ticket to the show. Here we go. I'm going to read it to you. It says number of states over here. That's a little blurry. And these are temperatures. These are the record high temperatures. Record high temperatures. Number of states, we got 0 to 18 going this direction. First question, how many states have a record high temperature over 124 degrees? Over 124 degrees? Second question, how many states have a record high temperature from 110 to 114 degrees? Check your buckets. All right. Let's get to the trivia question. What do they stand for? I did not know this. The rings represent the 5 world continents: Africa, Asia, America, Europe, and Oceania, otherwise known as kind of like the Greater Australia. America, they group North America and South America together. Back when I was a kid, there were 7 continents. Apparently we've lost 2. I guess we just kind of merged a couple. All right, thanks a lot for listening. Have a great evening.